Hi, my name is Igna. I'm a college student. I was born with a Microtia on my right ear. It is stage 3, and I started this channel to talk about it, to give advice, to share my personal experience, and to also do some fun and random content to get my mind off of college and quarantine. So yeah, I hope you stick around. So this is the second part of the video posted 2 weeks ago about relationships. Hi, hello. So this is test week Igna coming at you from my desk, a place that I have not left in like 24 hours. So basically I just want to quickly apologize because I know I said my videos are gonna alternate between Microtia related content and fun random stuff. That is the plan. That still is what I'm going to do. It's just that this week I have test week in college and it really snuck up on me. So now I'm like super stressed and late with studying, and I don't have enough time to edit the fun video I had planned because I want to make it like funny and add a lot of effects and stuff. And to do that, I need more time. So I'm going to post the relationship video, the second part of the relationship video this week, and then next week I'll be back to random content and alternate from there. So yeah, I'm very sorry, just know that the video is coming and that it's gonna be great, and I really hope you enjoyed this one as well because it's also Microtia related and I really like how it turned out. I'm looking at it right now on the screen of the computer and I'm excited to show it to you guys. So I hope you enjoy it, and if you want to see the random videos that I have planned and other Microtia related stuff, then make sure to subscribe. So I'll see you next Thursday. Now back to the actual video where I'm not dying of stress. So the first part was about friendships and everything, and this one is going to be about more of the dating side. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my personal experience and also give some advice to you guys, because the whole point of this channel is to be the person I never had growing up to talk about this stuff. And I know that for me at least, as I mentioned in the previous video, which I'm going to put in the info box. I don't remember the side this time either, but as I mentioned in that last video, it's something that kind of concerned me growing up. I know it's very stupid, but growing up I thought that for some reason I would never be able to get a boyfriend because of my birth condition, and I was so wrong, and I just wish I had somebody who could have told me that when I was growing up. So that's why I'm here. So yeah, let's get right on into the video. So as I was saying, the same thing applies to friendships. I don't think that any kind of birth condition or disability or anything of that sort should affect your ability to be with someone and to love someone and to be loved. I am more than convinced that if the person is the one that's right for you, then they won't care about whatever you think makes you unlovable or different, because it doesn't. It's part of you, definitely, but it doesn't define your ability to love or to be with someone. So basically what I'm going to say now about my experience is what I wish somebody would have told me when I was growing up, is that it is not true whatever it is you're telling yourself. You are lovable, you are amazing, and you're definitely going to be with a person when the time's right. I think that in my personal experience, the whole journey to getting to be with somebody kind of started at self-acceptance. I think that the only thing that was stopping me from being with someone was me blocking myself and telling myself that I wasn't good enough to have a boyfriend, not just because of my year, but like stuff in general. And I think that once I got over that and that I accepted and loved myself as I was, I met my boyfriend with whom I was for like almost 5 months. We broke up because of completely unrelated stuff to my year. But yeah, I think it all starts first with you accepting and loving yourself as you are, because as RuPaul once said, if you don't love yourself, then how in the hell are you gonna love anybody else? So I think that's great advice, by the way. Definitely, that's 100% the case. So yeah, I think that if you're younger and you're starting to grow up and you think that nobody's ever going to like you because you look different or you have a certain condition, I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. I know for me, I crush on people a lot. I'm kind of like a huge hopeless romantic, but from what I know that for a fact 2 guys had a crush on me on middle school and like / high school, like end of middle school, beginning of high school. So that will definitely happen for you guys. Both of them were super nice guys. They were super sweet. I actually kind of had to reject both of them because I didn't like either of them in that sense. They were very friendly guys and I love them as friends, but just nothing more than that. And yeah, that's that. What my relationship was like with Mayer, my ex-boyfriend wasn't really that observant, so he didn't notice at first. Like, he didn't know about Mayer, and I actually wasn't one to bring it up to him because I was kind of concerned, you know, I was kind of like scared that when I told him he would be freaked out or wouldn't want to date me or anything. And when we talked about it, he was the nicest guy ever, and he was so supportive and sweet and said that he liked me because of who I was, and that small thing that I thought was kind of like so repelling, to him it wasn't, because it was just a small part of who I was. And I completely agree with him on that. And it was kind of like quite a beautiful moment, you know. It was a very nice, like, deep personal talk and connection. And that's kind of like all the experience I have. Then again, as I mentioned in my friendship video, the reason that I haven't been in that many relationships or haven't had that many crushes and whatnot is because I'm a very socially awkward person, you know? So that's definitely the case. It has nothing to do with my year. So just so you guys know, that's kind of like all the personal experience I have in the topic. Now moving on to the part I do have more to say, which is the actual like advice part of this video. So basically I have three main things I'd like to say, like advice wise. First, be confident. The thing I learned about my year with time is that it's only an issue if you let it become one and if you make it one. And I know it's hard for something that's kind of like been with you your whole life to not like feel like such a huge factor, but it really isn't. And once you accept yourself and become confident, things become so much easier. And I know it's hard to say, but it is so important because, like, first of all, confidence is super attractive. I know that I find it attractive in people, and I know that my friends and everyone does too. Like, who doesn't like somebody who's confident in their own skin and kind of has that quality to them? So first of all, be confident because of that, because it's one way to get a boyfriend, I mean. But also, secondly, you have to be sure that if the person is right for you, then they won't mind about this thing that concerns you, you know? Everyone has their own insecurities and things that they don't like that much about themselves. But the whole point of being with somebody is for them to accept you regardless of those things. There's no need to be worried about this condition that makes you different, because though it's part of who you are, it doesn't define you. And as long as you're confident and you know that the right person that is out there for you is not going to care about something as shallow as this condition that you had no say over, then you'll be more than fine. And that's something that took me a while to learn, but once I did, really changed everything. And it wasn't a day and night thing where like I woke up one morning and I was like, you know what, I'm confident, I don't care anymore. It's not that. I know it's hard, but once you kind of realize that and you have that moment of like epiphany almost, it all becomes easier and you realize that it really isn't that important. And I hope this video can be that moment for you guys to realize that it's not as big of a deal as you think, and it's only as much of a complication as you make it. So my second advice is to be honest and talk about the things that concern you with your partner and with the person that you're dating. Now, I'm not saying that you should go up to them and introduce yourself like, hey, I have this condition, will you date me regardless? Like, nobody does that with anything. Like, you don't walk up to someone and introduce yourself through your insecurities. So you should be no exception. Don't do that. But definitely when you establish a connection with that person and you think like, hey, this is somebody I want to be with, when the moment arises, bring it up, talk to them about it, because I guarantee, or at least the experience that I've had, is that most of the time it's in your own head, you know? For me, it was something that I was kind of freaking out about, and when I talked to this, when I talked to my boyfriend about it, he barely even cared at all, and I realized that I've been spending all this time worrying about something that wasn't a problem to begin with. So I'd say that once you establish that connection with somebody and you want to be with them, talk with them and say like, hey, you know, I have this, this is kind of my concerns, and talk to them about it. And if they're not supportive, then do you really want to be with that person to begin with? Which leads to my third piece of advice, which is be thankful, honestly. Because my mom really laughed when I told her about this, but I think that I'm so lucky to have my Microtia because it literally is a jerk repellent. Let me explain what I mean by that. So basically, if a guy or gal or person or whatever doesn't want to be with you because of something as shallow and as immature as a disability, birth condition, anything of that sort, then that is a person I don't want to be with to begin with, you know? Like, even if I had no condition whatsoever and a person said that they wouldn't want to establish a connection with somebody, be friends or date somebody just because of the way they look or just because of something that they had no control over, that person sucks, man. I don't want to be with that person, you know? So yeah, the most important part of a relationship is being with someone that is good for you. And for me, I know that I wouldn't vibe with someone who is as shallow as that. So be thankful and know that if a person likes you, then they like you for who you are. And you are more than whatever condition you were born with. So just keep that in mind and don't forget it. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Because I know for a fact that person is out there. So you just have to be confident in who you are and to be certain that whatever condition you think makes you unlovable or whatever doesn't define you, and that person is going to love all the awesome aspects that there are to you. That's honestly, I think, such a beautiful thing that I wish someone would have told me growing up. But now that I know it, you know, I've lived through it, and I wanted to tell you guys that that's the way it is. And so yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you stick around. Subscribe, like the video if you like the topic and what I talked about. And let me know in the comments down below what you think of the advice I just gave. If you have any personal experience you'd like to share with the rest of us, it'd be super fun to hear them. And so yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys comment. So thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye.